The NBA offseason is in full flow, and we're seeing all sorts of deals being completed. There's not a single boring day during this time, and even if there's a lack of official news, there are so many rumors and possible trade scenarios that can fill your appetite. One of the rumors catching our eye lately has been a Julius Randle trade to the Suns. Let's see how that one could play out.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First up, Knicks-Suns trade involving Julius Randle. New York Knicks receive Deandre Ayton, sign and trade. Phoenix Suns receive Julius Randle, 2023 first-round pick. San Antonio Spurs receive Kemba Walker, Dario Saric, 2023 second-round pick, 2025 second-round pick. Okay, before we get into this, we know how absurd this sounds, but we're not making it up. It's rumored, and it's just a possibility. The chances of this happening are potentially quite low, but allow us to change your mind. The Suns and the Knicks both find themselves in similar-looking issues, regardless of the fact that they finished at almost completely opposite ends at the end of the regular season. For the Suns, it would be fair to say that their number one pick in Deandre Ayton hasn't worked out the way they would have hoped, and 4 years on, they're looking to move him on. Similarly, you'd expect the Knicks to keep hold of a player that was named to the All-NBA third team, at least for another season, but the chances are that the New York Knicks will move on Julius Randle this summer. The Suns, at the moment, just don't think it's a good idea to commit to a max contract with Ayton, despite the fact that he's a proven traditional center. So could a possible swap solve the issues for both sides? We think so. But is it fair to trade Randle for Ayton? That's the big question. No one's denying Randle's obvious talent and brilliant traits, but are the Phoenix Suns so done with Ayton that they'd be willing to move him on to sign Randle? Well, who knows what's going on in their mind. One thing we can say for sure is that the number one pick didn't turn out to be the way the Suns would have hoped. He's class, and on his day, absolutely unstoppable, but he's no Luka Doncic now, is he? Plus, what's the guarantee that Randle can ever capture his 2020-21 form? Are we counting the bubble performances now? Kidding. We're LeBron fans. We can't not count the bubble wins. But that's really the only thing we need to answer for a trade to be considered realistic. We know that the Suns aren't pinning their hopes on Ayton, but there's maybe also a little bit of holding back in terms of moving him on. He's a quality NBA starter. Randle is too, but is he good enough to potentially replace Ayton in some capacity? There's only one way to find out, and it might be too risky. But then again, if it was that straightforward, the Suns wouldn't have made a mistake in the draft. And it makes sense for the Suns. The best way to describe a player like Deandre Ayton is that he's a distressed asset. All the Suns can do is accept that it was a mistake to pick him as their number one pick and let bygones be bygones by moving on. And they're getting something in return at least, and who knows just how great the upside could be. Of course, analyzing the move in terms of Randle's 21-22 season, the Suns are getting fleeced like crazy. There's no denying that. But talent and potential can't simply disappear from a player overnight, and if they get anything that Randle produced in the 2021 season, the Suns will be the happiest team in the division. It wouldn't be wrong to say that Randle was more dynamic as a playmaker in 2020-21 than Ayton has ever been in his career, and we're not being rude. Plus, with the Suns, he's drawing defensive attention because the likes of Devin Booker and Chris Paul are genuinely better than anyone he had at the Knicks. Before we forget, in this potential trade, the Suns are also getting a first-round pick. Of course, the Knicks will be trying their best to ensure that the pick isn't in the lottery, but there's a limit to what they can control. And suddenly, just like that, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Oh, and what about the Knicks? It's a little risky for the Knicks now that we think about it. They're practically trading their first defensive option for a player who simply isn't suited for that role. How will that work out? Allow us to explain. Ayton's a phenomenal player, and just because he couldn't fit in the Phoenix franchise doesn't mean he can't fit in with the Knicks. He can be a superb defensive anchor and an elite secondary offensive option, both of which the Knicks could really do with. In fact, if they want to try a potential pick-and-roll finish, there aren't many players more suited to that play than Ayton, and we would love to see him play that. He's a foundational piece, and that's something Randle failed to live up to last year. Not to mention the increasingly young core the Knicks are building. R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Cam Reddish are all young, talented options. And then you add Ayton, and that's a pretty decent roster. And if they're smart enough, they'll be all over the free agency looking to add a superstar acquisition to their roster. The draft capital is hardly an issue for the New York franchise, and there are plenty of options available for them. Then there's the small matter of the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, we haven't forgotten about the third team in this trade. If this trade is to go ahead, the Spurs will be involved as a third option to facilitate the deal. They'll be using their cap space to gain assets, and with Zach LaVine signing with the Bulls and declining momentum in the Ayton sweepstakes, it looks very likely. Plus, there's plenty to gain too. If it does materialize, the Spurs will be getting Kemba Walker from the New York Knicks and Dario Saric from the Suns, along with 2 second-round picks from Phoenix, one for 2023 and the other for 2025. Will they be happy with this move though? Now, in other related news, first up, Knicks signed Jericho Sims. Shams Charania doesn't miss, does he? Well, good news for the Knicks fans because he has revealed revealed that the Knicks have reached an agreement with Sims to a 3-year contract. The two-way center has agreed to a lucrative offer that converts his rookie contract to a standard deal. What a special moment. Sims averaged 13.5 minutes as a rookie and averaged 4.1 rebounds in 41 matches. Of course, on a two-way deal, you're only allowed to play 50 matches, so he pretty much filled out his quota, more or less. He's one of the most talented players on the Knicks roster, and he should now be taking the next step in his development. Next, KD to the Suns? Now, this would be huge. By now, we all know that KD has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, but if the rumors are true, then it seems that KD has listed the Phoenix Suns as one of his potential landing spots. The Suns, on the other hand, would welcome the former MVP winner with open arms. Few teams are as loaded with picks and players as the Suns, and if they're truly interested, there's not much anyone can do to stop this trade from happening. But it won't be an easy trade, and as there aren't any deadlines to meet just yet, this one could take its sweet time. In fact, some insiders have revealed that the Suns consider anyone as virtually tradable as long as that anyone isn't Chris Paul or Devin Booker. Okay, we saw that much coming. We think they might even let Paul leave if the deal is sweet enough, but there's absolutely no chance of Devin Booker being involved in a deal, so if the Nets fans are hoping for this, let us assure you it just can't happen, especially not since they gave him a raise. Although, this trade is definitely one to keep an eye out on. Finally, could the Spurs help out the Lakers? It seems that the San Antonio Spurs want to be a part of every deal as the third party. If the latest reports are true, the Spurs are willing to help out the Lakers in their pursuit of Kyrie Irving from the Nets. It's not just speculation at this point, because once the Woj reports it, that means the option is certainly under consideration. But Woj also pointed out that a potential deal involving the Spurs won't be cheap because they'll be looking for a high incentive. The Lakers might have to involve multiple assets that go the way of the Spurs along with Westbrook to the Nets in order to get their man, but are they willing to go that far for a deal? Let's wait and watch. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the Suns should trade Ayton for Randle? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching our video, and we'll see you in the next one.